Hey, happy Monday, Jason here, and I want to talk to you as we start our day about Bullhorn Guy. That's right, the weather's warming up, and whether it's at a busy intersection or at our lovely ocean front at the boardwalk, you will find at some point in time Bullhorn Guy or gal, and they have the sign, and it has all the list of sins, and it usually has flames on it, and they have their bullhorn, and they're, you're a sinner, you're a sinner, you're a sinner, you're going to hell, everybody's going to hell. I mean, they're the Oprah of judgment. They're just handing it out. And people are walking by, and the truth is that Christians and non-Christians, nobody is listening to Bullhorn Guy. Because even if, let's just venture to say that even if Bullhorn Guy was saying something true, which we all sin, so technically Bullhorn Guy's right. And even if that sin causes us to be without and apart from God unless we follow Jesus, which Bullhorn Guy is right, the approach at which he does it is completely wrong. Nobody's gonna listen to Bullhorn Guy because what started out as something that probably was, I need to tell people, and a passionate thing, has now turned into something all about them, making themselves feel better, making their voice heard. They aren't doing it for people, they're doing it for themselves, just because they want to get a point across. Now here's where it takes an interesting turn. You and I, at some point in time in our lives, maybe even in the last year, have been or will be Bullhorn Guy. Now, I don't think you necessarily like to hear that. I don't like to hear that about myself, but there are times, whether in person or online, where we will speak just to be heard and get our point across. Not because we care about people, maybe it started out that way, but it has really then become about us. I mean, we look at the landscape of COVID and shots or no shots, mask or no mask, and then politics, left or right, red or blue, and then everybody thinks that whatever side that they're on is the right side. And so now we're saying things not because we necessarily believe them to be true, because we all believe what we believe is true, but we're saying it just because we want to be heard, just because it makes us feel better about being loud. Here's the rub. Nobody's listening. When we become Bullhorn Guy, no one listens to us. And if you're a believer, and I want to speak to you as a believer, if you follow Jesus, you should never be Bullhorn Guy, ever. Not a single time. You and I are called not to trust in our own ideas, in our own just passions. We're to trust in God's passion. And God's passion is for people made in the image of God. We're told to love our enemies, pray for those who hurt us, to care for those who are unlovable. And when we get on a platform and use a bullhorn, we get all credit lost with both sides, with people that care about us and with people that don't care about our message. Everybody loses, including you and I. And I love the passage in Proverbs. It's in chapter 3. We just talked about it on Sunday. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. That it's not about what I think or feel, it is about what God desires. And God desires for us to be about people, especially on mission about people who don't know him. Not on mission about politics, not on mission about masks or no masks, not on mission about a vaccine or no vaccine. We're on mission to tell people about Jesus. That's it. And we're actually the only people that are on that mission. Only Christians have a unique responsibility to be able to take, as we trust in God with all of our hearts, to take that message of Jesus and bring it to other people. There's plenty of people that don't follow God that are going to talk about right and left and red and blue and mask and no mask and vaccine and no vaccine, and they're passionate. But they're Bullhorn Guy, and nobody's really going to listen to them because you lose all credibility when you get just vicious with your words. But Christians are called to something more, something that doesn't shift like politics and masks and disease and hurt and suffering and pain. We follow a God who always remains the same. That we get to share his love, his hope. And when we lean into his understanding and not our own, we have the ability to not be Bullhorn guy, to not be over the top for us, but instead step back and say, God, we want you to be on full display. And so I want to encourage you and challenge you that if you are acting like Bullhorn guy, I love you, but stop. And if you are tempted to act like Bullhorn guy, know that God wants better for you. He commands better for us. And he wants you and I to wrap our arms and our love around everyone, left or right, good or bad, annoying or not, tall, short, skinny, not skinny. It doesn't matter how they vote or what they're doing. They're made in the image of God. And so we write zero people off. Christianity should be a place where there's zero cancel culture. God doesn't cancel us. We trust in him, leaning not on our own understanding of all the things that we think we're right about. And instead, we share with people the one thing that never changes, and that's God's love for them through Jesus. And so today on this Monday, I want to encourage you to love people well, to not be about yourself, but instead be about others. To not get on a platform and to just blast and cause more division. Because even if you may be right, no one's listening to you because, well, you're a Bullhorn guy. I'm really glad Jesus wasn't. And I'm really glad he loves me even when I fall into that mess sometimes. And he does the same for you. And so today, love people well and tell them about Jesus. Love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I cannot wait to see you soon.